Great morning, world. Welcome to the Rise Up with Dragon podcast with your host, Dragon.
Great morning, friends. Great morning, world. We have to make sure that we have a positive check. Okay, great. Awesome. So great morning, friends. This is your Monday morning focus. And we're getting, I see what's going on here. Going live in multiple places right now, and I'm hearing it in the background. Great morning, my friends. This is Dr. JC Doornick, aka the Dragon, and this is your Monday morning focus. Today's Monday morning focus, which is really here to help set your day up the right way. And this topic is one that is very, very interesting to me for a couple of reasons. I'm a health coach. Also, practiced 18 years as a chiropractor. So I'm very passionate about health and more so on the behavioral side of it. But I'm also just fascinated with human behavior. Because one of the things that I love to teach people how to do and also learn how to do myself is, learn how to react and respond to adversities in life in a better way. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the, massive surge of weight loss medications and such, if we can get these tech difficulties worked out. So maybe if somebody is listening live, perhaps you can let me know. If you comment, because I'm streaming live on multiple platforms, if you give me a comment and let me know that you can hear me, then great morning. Okay, I see some people coming in. Great morning, Kathy. So if you don't know who I am, and this is the first time that you're seeing the Monday Morning Focus, my name is Dr. JC Doornick. They call me the Dragon because I'm the host of, believe it or not, the top 1% in the world podcast, Rise Up with Dragon. New season coming out in January. My new book is coming out as well. But I'm also a transformation coach, a health transformation coach, help thousands and thousands of people, find their way to a better reality with their health, which is very, very close to the topic today. But also the co-founder with my wife, Chicken, known as Chicken and Dragon, of what's called the Make Sense Academy, which is an environment, a private environment where you can get support, inspiration, mentorship in an environment where you can thrive. So any of those things come interesting to you, just type in the word community at any port, at any part of this broadcast, and you can just get a nice response from us giving you an invitation to check out our community risk-free. Really, really cool stuff going on. So as I start today, I'll be with you in about 20 minutes, unless I get carried away. Hey, great morning, Stacy. For those of you that are coming in, I don't know, unless you add your name to it. I think it asks you to do that. I won't know who you are. So I see some folks coming in here saying that they can hear me and stuff, but I don't know exactly who they are. So let me know who you are and I'll say hi to you. So I'm reminded in the beginning of this focus today, I'm reminded of one of my favorite quotes. And there's Vicky. Hey, Vicky. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I love that quote. There's so many just valuable connections to that quote. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And what that means is like, look at like junk food. We spend a lot of time in our lives putting things that we don't like or we don't believe down, like let's say McDonald's or something like that. But when we say don't hate the player, hate the game, it just reminds us that those things wouldn't exist unless there was a need for them and a demand, right? So that's an important concept to put into this equation when we talk about medically supported weight loss drugs and stuff like that, and the quick fix mentality. I, for one, come from an upbringing of a very holistic approach. That's why I became a chiropractor. And this idea of, taking care of things naturally, and staying away from drugs, medications, surgery, and all that stuff. So you know, I spent quite a bit of my time just talking in a negative way about things that are only there because there's a need for them and a demand. So don't hate the player, hate the game. So we're going to talk about the game today, right? So let's acknowledge for a few, a second right now, a few things that are going on in our world right now as we look at the potential place and effectiveness of, things like GLP-1s and semaglutide medications, Ozempic, Wegovy, all that stuff. What's interesting is whenever I talk about this stuff, and you'll probably see it in my threads too, you'll see these people pitching you, hey, Teresa, honey, hey, honey wigs. You'll see people use my thread to pitch these drugs, right? So don't hit the player, hate the game. We'll probably delete them, but at the same time, I get it. I get it. They're all trying to get into the arena of play. So let's look at our current reality. So our country finds itself in a bit of a pickle here right now, as we close out 2023. I don't know if you know about that pickle, right? And this is not a negative look at the future. It's just a reality check. Let's look at some statistics. So first of all, obesity itself has skyrocketed over 40%. I think it's 42.6% right now. And it's fast approaching 50%. Now, for somebody that's just coming into the game right now, they think that's normal. That's ridiculous, right? There's a lot of people in America, and to think about 50% of them being obese, that doesn't even include the people that are not yet obese, like people that are on deck, right? I lost 80 pounds on my health transformation, and the program that I use. That's what I do now. I coach people. I did that 18 years ago. When I looked at my BMI chart and found out that I was clinically obese, that was a shock to me. So a lot of people don't even know that they're obese, right? And a lot of people don't know a lot of things. So that statistic is primarily caused by the upstream detriment, right? And the upstream cause of most disease, which is really, if you think about it, it's not overeating and it's not all of these things that we think it is. It's just emotional mismanagement. We got a lot of stuff going on. And I just said stuff instead of the bad word because I'm practicing for not saying swears. And we're just not responding to it. Remember, we don't control stuff. We control how we respond. So what you're seeing in all of these statistics in the downstream, which is causing the need and the desire for a quick fix, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game, is emotional mismanagement. People are going through a lot of stuff right now and reacting in a non-supportive, positive way. They're dissociating. The whole idea of emotional eating is to eat in reaction to emotions. That's emotional it's mismanagement, right? So it's important to understand that, because then you can have a better understanding not of what people are doing wrong, but why they're doing it. And that's the game, right? There's a lot of people that are very good at supplying the demand of unconscious dissociation and behavior, right? So I get it. Meaning our country's inability to respond to adversity in a health conscious way. Think about what health conscious means. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do and not do. So that's health conscious. But the reaction and response is health unconscious. It's a dissociation and say, hey, screw it. I'm just going to do it. So rather, they respond to the fears, concerns, and overwhelming stressors that exist in life today by dissociating themselves from things, right? So I get it. I get it. Have you ever dissociated from something? If somebody's like really pissing you off and bothering you, have you ever walked away from it, right? When you should have addressed it? Of course, we always do this. So not only unconsciously eating in response, but also we're seeing an increase, don't forget, in alcohol, abuse, as well as, substance abuse in general, which is what also including an all-time high, to the point where there's shortages in dissociative drugs, all-time high use of mood altering drugs. So in short, nobody ever wakes up. Here's what you need to know from a supportive way. Nobody ever wakes up and makes a decision to be unhealthy or overweight or nobody ever wakes up and says, my goal for this year or this day is to be unhealthy. Nobody does that, right? So obesity is actually a side effect and a symptom of a bigger animal, and that's that emotional mismanagement. So that's what we have to address, right? And right now, these medications out there are addressing it by saying people can't do things on their own. I mean, they can, but the only person that says that they can is the person that has. But if you're the person that says that you can't, that's your reality. So I think we have to understand those people better. So what I've described is what the sales industry calls the demand. That's what I've just done, right? And I don't know if I think people need to look at healthcare in a supply and demand way. And that's why I started off with that. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? What you're seeing with medications and things like that and addressing obesity is supplying a demand. If the demand changes, if everybody wakes up and says we want to have wild caught Atlantic salmon and kale and do things the right way, which they know how to do, well, then the suppliers will supply that. I used to take care of the worldwide CEO of Pepsi. And she was one of the most health conscious people that I've ever met. And I asked her, I said, why do you work for a company that makes sugar water if you're so healthy? And she says, I tell you what, if you guys stop drinking it, we'll stop making it. Supply and demand, right? I get it. So now that we know what the demand is, it's not just, focused on weight loss, but weight loss that suits the current reality when people are unmotivated and struggling to do the work required to eat right and exercise. So when you're seeing medications out there, what I'm trying to tell you is I understand, and I don't have a problem with it because I understand. And I think more health professionals need to do that. You see, we don't need a solution for weight loss. We need a solution for the fact that people are not doing what they need to do because it seems too hard or they have experience of failure. So, excuse me, that is the truth. So we need something that suits the current reality when people are unmotivated and struggling to do the work required, like eating right and exercise. People know what they need to do. Here's something health professionals need to understand, especially those of us that make people feel bad when they take a quick fix, right? You're explaining what you think based on your experience when you do that, right? And you're making them feel bad because they're not like you, right? Now, how did you become like you, right? If I'm a health conscious person and I teach and preach health, I'm making people feel bad because they have not yet got to the point where they understand and can practice healthy habits. My program meets people where they're at, even offers them the opportunity to work with me if they're using medical weight loss drugs. We even show them where to go get them and do them in the right way with support, right? But we also understand that over time, they're going to evolve and awaken just like you have. But what you're doing is you're taking your evolution and awakening and making people feel bad because they're not there yet. Give people time. Give people time. That's my philosophy. And if you're watching this and you're curious and interested, and even if you are using medical weight loss drugs or want to, reach out to me because I understand you. And not only will I help you by meeting you where you're at, but at your pace, I will allow you to evolve and awaken to a point where you don't need them anymore, right? I remember a woman approached me and said she was ashamed. She wanted to get healthy, but she was addicted to cigarettes. And I said, that's okay. There's no calories in cigarettes. You can get started as well, right? Of course, I don't want to advocate for smoking. But guess what? 3 months later, she decided on her own that smoking no longer applied, right? That's what I'm talking about. So people know what they need to do, and that's not the problem, right? They just struggle with the execution of it. So can you see the perfect scenario right there? Look at the demand. Can you see the perfect scenario for extremely intelligent, multi-billion-dollar juggernaut big pharma companies to swoop in and not only supply the demand, but make people think that it is the way. I mean, we're in a position right now where people think that taking medications is not only a solution for weight loss, but it is a healthy choice. Now, how does that happen? Extreme genius and expensive marketing programs. And I see it all over the place. And when I meet people that say, oh, taking this medication is a healthy choice, I so badly in my mind want to say something, but that would be me giving them my opinion and they didn't ask for it. So I meet them where they're at and understanding. I understand why people would think that way because of what they've been exposed to with massive consistency and strategic, commercials with messages that get people to think that. So don't hate the player, hate the game. That is a genius marketing tool, but it's supplying a demand. Is it taking advantage of people? Well, it is, because there's no promise of actual help and evolution and health creation, but that's where we come in. That's where we come in, you and I, right? Because we're going to understand. So they struggle to execute. So that's a perfect tsunami, to provide these medications that promise to shut off the food drive of the brain, which makes total sense. I can't stop eating. Shut off the food drive with this medication. I'm in. That's what they're thinking. And you can understand that. It's not the healthy way to do things. No, it's not. And you know what? Having a rational conversation with anyone that's using them, they know that. They don't want to hear that. So don't tell them that, but they know that. And if they want to talk about it, they'll let you know. It's not the healthy way to do things, as medications don't create health. However, this is not about health. This is crisis prevention, right? It's about another world. It's not about health. It's about healthier. If you write those two words down, if you're a health conscious person, and this is a shaky topic for you, I want you to write down the word healthy and define it. What does it mean? And you could even share it in our thread here. I'd love to know what you have to think, even if you're pissed off. What does healthy mean, right? And then I want you to know that that definition that you give me is what you think it is based on who you are and where you're at in your life on your health journey, right? But what I want you to write next is, what does it mean to say healthier? It means anything that's better than what they were doing. So in my opinion, with regards to these medications, I don't advocate for them, but I'm totally fine with someone taking any step towards something, putting their life in motion and creating an arena where they have a fighting chance to have somebody like me, or like you perhaps, come in, meeting them where they're at and guide them as they awaken to a better place. You see, when people start to transform their health, what happens is they awaken to new realities. And when you have an awakened mind, they may understand things at that point, but you've got to give people a chance. And I just challenge you right now, if this message, if you don't agree with this message, it's only because unconsciously you're choosing to be right versus understanding and kind. And I get it. I get you too, because that's the way I spent most of my life. And that's why I never helped people until now. So healthy versus healthier, write it down. One is defined by what you think, and the other acknowledges the reality that anything better is better. Anything better is better. Are you going to tell somebody that doesn't drink water that they need to drink 64 ounces a day? You could tell them that would be a good idea, but what if they don't drink water? Maybe they should drink a shot of water a day. Is that better? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if we really want to reform health, we have to meet people where they're at. Okay. So including the idea that a medication can at least get somebody to break free from their struggles. Hey, I'm game. I'm game. If somebody can break free from struggles, get a couple of wins, and they're working with somebody that understands and it's not pushing them from behind or pulling them from in front and walking beside them, they are going to awaken. They're going to awaken. Now, I'm not saying it's a good idea to go do these things. I'm saying if you can't break through and you're really truly struggling and you haven't tried, or you don't even think that you can try, then I get it. It's a great way to start, but there's some downsides to it as well, and we need to discuss that. So my take on it is that I get it, right? I totally see why there's such a massive interest in how these meds can be a game changer for those that can't get it done otherwise. Understand. I understand. And a lot of people that I hang out with do too. So you see, as a coach, I've helped thousands and thousands of people over 18 years. So I know a lot about this. I've helped them lose weight and go on to create long-term health, right? But I didn't do it my way, right? I provided them with tools and support that they could use, and I allowed them to evolve over time. I gave you the example of the smoking. So a good coach or health provider or health care provider is somebody that's going to work alongside people, their patients and their clients. But like I said before, not pulling and coaxing them in a way that you think is right, or pushing them from behind faster or in a direction they don't want to go. Unless they ask for that, we have to start understanding that people will ask for what it is. Rather, what we need to do is meet them where they're at autonomously, which means understanding their certain situation, and allow them to progressively awaken to the logical, rational facts about things like nutrition, exercise, hydration, and in the case of the weight loss medications, avoiding sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting. So we see all these statistics about people losing muscle mass and things like that. Of course, the Juggernaut companies are saying that's not happening, but the people doing the medications are in disbelief, but they know it. They know it. So don't tell them that, because they're going to get upset about it. You can't talk somebody out of something by telling them that what they're doing is wrong. That's not the way it works with your kids too. You got to show them things and educate them, but sometimes you got to wait to do that as well. So let's acknowledge the role of the drug manufacturers. It's not to help people create health. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It's not to help people create health, but to sell effective drugs that give people the results that they're requiring in the reality that they're in. If somebody has a quick fix mentality, it's because they're looking for a quick fix. And that's the reality that they're in right now. If we don't allow somebody to have a quick fix and we tell them that that's not going to work, then first of all, they're not going to talk to you anymore. You become the enemy and you don't get to help people anymore, right? See if people are. There's my lovely wife who says, hi, Dragon. Hi, my sweetie. Love you. So what the potential challenge is and why we're seeing a new demand. It's an interesting demand happening with the medical weight loss drugs right now. We're seeing that 80%, this is an interesting statistic, and this is where we come in. 80% of people that are using these medications, now that we're in a playing field where we understand, right? And we get it. And we're not going to make people feel bad, right? Because they're just doing the best that they can. 80% of them are saying that they wish that they could do it a better way. And they wish that they had better support and guidance to do this the right way. Now, you're going to see the Juggernaut companies make it look like they're providing that support. But that's just like, and pamphlets, but not real support. The support that we give people when people are using the medically supported weight loss drugs is not only support, meaning walk beside them and guide them, but we're also giving them nutritional support. We're giving them things that they can eat rather than junk food, right? To actually get nutrients, macros and micros, and also that all important protein. So that's what real support looks like. Support doesn't look like, here's what you should be doing when you're doing this. That's not what they signed up for, right? So what we really need to do is walk side by side, meet them where they're at, move at their pace, but really truly provide them with support. Our company has partnered with this company, LifeMD, that's providing the medications. If anybody's looking to get that stuff, you go through LifeMD, through us, starting in January, you're going to not only get the medications you're looking for, insurance and all that stuff, but you're going to get the support. You're going to get a coach and a support. Now, what's the value of that? That coach is going to provide you with guidance and support to get what you wanted, but also make sure you do it the right way, where down the road you don't use those anymore and you actually learn lifelong creation of health, right? That's what support looks like. So wake up, just wake up and say, and just recognize what you're doing is okay. It's okay, right? But what I want you to know is that if you're not conscious of the manipulative illusion that you're doing something healthy without taking care of nutrients and things like that, that's the downside in the future. So it's okay. That's my statement. It's okay. I understand human behavior and it's okay to do these things. However, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And from my heart to yours, there needs to be a little bit more acknowledgement of the right way to do it. So if that suits you and you're saying, yeah, that's what I've been thinking lately, our job is to understand the climate and reality of our patients as health professionals and walk alongside them with the acknowledgement and understanding that a start is better than no start and a step forward is better than no step forward. That's the first thing. So my focus this day, and yours, I'm sharing it with you. My focus this day, and it's mission-based for 2024, because I worry about people that unconsciously do things like I have in my past. So my focus today is one of empathy and understanding, and my desire is to assist people and guide people to a better reality of health. And it's best served by me working with them rather than against them. Health professionals, stop working against people, right? Stop trying to be right and start trying to just be kind. Recognize that what you call health is different than what people call health. People are looking for healthier, and it's a start towards your definition of health. Catch yourselves telling people what they should do based on what you know, because what you're doing in that moment is telling people how to be like you, and you're not perfect either, right? Somebody needs to walk beside you in certain ways as well, right? I'll give you a wink on that one. So now this method of coaching clients can be used, to create a better working relationship or even improve your business, right? This doesn't have to be just about health professionals working with clients. This could be a way of a new communication tool. This is what I teach people on different levels, how to improve their physical, their mental, and their financial lives. I teach these philosophies and these response systems in our private community. It's called Make Sense Academy. So if you're not ready to take a step forward with your health right now, and you're just kind of like this vibration and you want to be in a community that supports that, just once again, share with me or DM me, just in case I lose it in the threads, the word community. And if you give me the word community, I will invite you into our psychological safe haven where you can learn these tools and gain access to all of this stuff and get it done the right way. But the right way is your way to start, right? And if you ever see eye to eye with my philosophies and practices of health, it'll only be because you've evolved to that and it became the thing that you want, right? But we got to start meeting people where they are. So remember something: if you or anyone that you love has heard this message, and this comes from my heart, I'm mission-based right now, not money-based. But what I do for a living is I'm a health transformation coach. And I also teach, and coach people and mentor people in that and other environment. So if anyone you know or love or you is curious and ready to take that first step to really reclaim control of your health and your life, ask me about some of the amazing opportunities that we have. Especially coming in January, we've got an amazing 30-day health challenge. We've got people getting access to getting their medications, but the right way, and follow up and all of that support. And then we've got all these amazing support systems for other ways of losing weight that meet different budgets. We've also got we've got products for muscle support. People that are on these weight loss meds or people in the gym need to be using things like proteins and essential amino acids and all that stuff, right? So we've got it all. We've got it all. So if this is touching you and you want in, just let me know. Just say interested. I'm interested, and I'll reach out to you and we'll have a little bit of a chat. And if you're not ready yet, just write down the word community and we'll invite you into our community and you can start thriving. You can start leaning into those steps forward to thrive. So love and appreciate you all, and also understand you all, right? And that's not the way I always was. Human beings are amazing creatures, right? And we're just doing the best that we can. And we do stupid things sometimes, and I understand. And you know what? I do stupid things as well. And I love and appreciate people that understand and forgive me, for doing those things, because that's just the way we are. That's the way we learn. So don't feel bad about where you're at. And if you like the vibe of this conversation, please, just say I'm interested in the comments, or DM me if you don't want to make that public, or if you want to be invited into our community that meets every morning and live interacts and talks like this. It'll really help you, risk-free. Just write the word community and I'll invite you there. Telling people your way can feel like you're telling them that their way is wrong. Exactly, Kathy. All right. Love and appreciate you all, from LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching. Love you and appreciate you, and have an amazing day. And let's close out this year the right way. And yes, you can have hope and faith and big dreams for 2024. Bye-bye now.